Generation Y have lower levels of well-being than older generations according to the Australian Psychological Survey. The survey, undertaken in 2015, shows high levels of stress, depression and anxiety amongst our generation. Yet, almost 2 years on, mental health professionals say the issue is not improving. Mary Everard, a caseworker at St George Mental Health Service, says she is currently dealing with a high caseload of young clients who cannot deal with stress, leading them to substance abuse and the development of mental health issues.
I think we need to educate people about stress, but also eliminate the stigma around stress and mental illness. I think it's very important because people think they're ashamed to talk that they're stressed, they're ashamed to say that I need help and I can't cope. It happens with everyone, but it's about getting the support, the right support that you need to move that step forward rather than moving those couple steps back.
Samantha Eade, counsellor and founder of mental health initiative Seeds of Hope, says we do not realise how damaging the stigma is for young people suffering from stress.
Stigma is one of the most important factors that we have to address when it comes to mental health, not only by programs but society in general, because it holds so much weight and consequences for people experiencing mental health issues. Things like feelings of shame, a sense of disgrace. It can cause people to be silent about their struggles, reluctant to seek help.
Yet Miss Eade says programs like Seeds of Hope are key to raising awareness and assisting with prevention.
One must note that one small positive step towards etching or removing this massive social problem that we face can go a long way. And that's what we've seen from the Seeds of Hope initiative. We've seen more open conversations about mental illness.
Despite some progress, we still have a long way to go in deconstructing the stigma of mental health among Gen Y. Miss Eade says the next step is to update studies and statistics.
Updated research is essential as things change over time, and with this, our practice and approach should also follow. One way of seeing the need for updated research is that if we don't have or know current and recent trends of, let's say, mental health disorders, how are we supposed to act appropriately and provide the right services and treatment? How are we nationally going to implement evidence-informed mental health policy, which inevitably will affect our practice and work in the mental health field? For instance, if updated, research tells us that there is a rise in a particular mental health issue, this would allow conversations for potential funding and policy implementation in this area.
The federal budget this year has allocated $115 million of funding in mental health research to be distributed over the next 4 years. Ms. Eade says she hopes the funding will produce valuable and insightful research to strengthen mental health support for our generation.